Coming to you every week from no place in particular. It's the best, worst thing you've never seen. This is the Forever Road Podcast featuring Bosco. Find us on some great platforms like iHeart, Spotify, and even more as we keep growing. Now, pointed down that forever road, he's a music lover, a historian, and a connoisseur of the obscure. It's Bosco. Here on the Forever Road Podcast.
Thank you, Brian. I'm back. It's been almost 3 months. I look back. The last time I was live, it was 3 months ago. I've had a lot going on. I think I did the concert update from the Tedeschi Trucks Band concert when they came to Macon, and I don't remember. I had to go back and look at each episode, but I figured starting off this new year, we're going to do a new year in review and a reflection, because it had me thinking a lot. Well, my daddy surviving a stroke the way he did, and he is a beast. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. He had the stroke. Let's see, it was Sunday. He's back home. Well, they released him. He still has to have surgery to repair the vein or the vessel in his neck. But he's up, walking around. Today he met us for. Y'all remember last week when I posted a live short video? Today he was up and he met us for dinner. So yeah, he's up, moving around, walking around. Doctor said they never told him he couldn't work, he couldn't drive, he couldn't do anything. His mind's there, everything's there. He's just got some healing to do and some surgeries to take care of. But as always, he's always in our thoughts and prayers. He's always in mine. I know that. But how y'all doing? I know it's been a couple months, but we're here, and we're going to start kicking this off every week. Told y'all I was going to be here live, and here I am. I started doing this new thing. I know most of y'all have seen it. Started doing the daily song of the day short videos. Pick a song and figure out what all was involved, what inspired that song, and how it came about, and then I post it. And yeah, so it's been pretty good as far as that goes. It's been a lot of fun doing that, picking a song, a different song, trying a different song. And sometimes I have to look back and go, did I do this song already? So I didn't realize how many songs I have done, man. It's crazy, but I'm very grateful. So don't forget to click like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Don't forget we're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok now. I'm still trying to figure TikTok out. That's a whole different world altogether, man. That's a crazy place. But let's see. I'm gonna go back and we'll do a year in review. And go to the trying to get back to our analytics here. Go to channel. Y'all bear with me. For those of you who are watching, I appreciate it. For those of you who are listening, don't forget we're on also on Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube Music, YouTube Live. We're going to start kicking this off every Monday. Hopefully from here on out, we're going to do this Monday earlier than I had some run around to do. We had an open house here at the house, so we had to show the house. I'm still here, still trying to sell it, and it's been up and touch and go. Let's see where. There, no. Oh, I'm more on the wrong channel. There we go. Come on. Let's see. I'm trying to get back to the back page so I can see. And that's the dashboard. 131 subscribers, and thank y'all very much. Thank you a lot. Just to let y'all know, I don't make any money off this. I just do this for fun. Try to share some knowledge, some history, some inspiration that I got and gathered up through the years, and just have fun. I don't get paid for this. I don't have any sponsors or anything like that. This is all me. Everything. The microphone, the camera, the laptop, the internet, the whole thing is all paid for and funded by me. But I'm still having fun doing it. I want to bring this information and bring y'all some knowledge, and hopefully if y'all have fun out of it too. If you get any knowledge, because you never know what a song is going to bring. You never know how a song came about. You never know how things were kind of put together. So I started looking into, and that's what just made me think. I was like, what out of all this great music that we all grew up with, and and I'm gonna start doing a little bit more automotive stuff too. Doing some automotive shorts, I love cars too. It's not all about music and history of music. So music and automotive history and culture, man. I mean, I know a lot about cars. I grew up in that scene. I grew up in the car scene. I grew up turning wrenches with my daddy and my uncles in the garage and the shops and the carports on the side of the road, in the woods. So it's what I know. And that's honestly, that's what I do for a living. I'm actually a truck mechanic. If you don't know, if you're new here, I'm actually a diesel mechanic. I changed a couple companies, but I still do the same thing. I've been a diesel mechanic since 2018. And after a couple of years working in law enforcement as a corrections officer for the state of Georgia, I decided to go do what I really love to do, is turn wrenches. And I grew up with this. It's easy for me, it doesn't. I'm not saying like physically, no, it's not easy. Mentally, not really easy, but it's, for me, it is, because it's kind of like sometimes it is. Physically, you got your bigger parts, especially on tractor trailers. Your parts are twice as heavy and twice as big a lot of the times. But it's the beast of trying to figure out what's wrong with it, fix it, get it back on the road so that driver can go make some money. Well, for me, it's more than that. It's just that machine thing. The best way I heard it, and it does sound kind of crazy, maybe sound a little corny, and I hate to steal this, but it's that, what did Bernie Mac say in this Transformer movies? A mystical bond between man and machine. The car picks the driver don't pick the car. So, and then in a lot of cases, if you think back to who drives what, right? then you can figure it out. Then it matches that personality of that person. It's mystical bond, like he said, and I know that's a knockoff of Transformers, but when he said it back then, I was like, that's the best way to explain that. Because like me, I'm a Dodge guy. You see the big M behind me right here. So it makes sense. Most of my vehicles, all of my vehicles outside right now are Dodges. I own one Chevrolet Tahoe. And it's just because it's a beast. I'm not going to lie. That thing is a monster. But, so in this year of review, and going back to what I was initially going to say, we're going to go over our analytics. And I really appreciate all the likes and follows and subscribes. Thank y'all so very much. Let's see. Let's see what we got. I'm going to click through here. $11 new subscribers in the last, I don't know how many days, but I surely appreciate it. Wow. Snow day in Middle Georgia. Got over 4,000. I think that's the highest one. 3,525 views. And it was only 32 seconds, I think. Or most time people just look at, okay, average view duration. That kind of kicks in the butt, doesn't it? Oh, man, that's kind of hurtful. But yeah, so I need to send a message real quick. So I want y'all to comment below how your last weekend went. We got snow here in Middle Georgia, which is the second time consecutively. It snowed the same time last year. And it's supposed to snow this coming up Sunday again, which I'm excited about because I'll be at home. I'll be off work. I'll be sitting here not doing anything, man. Let's see. But yeah, so when I started I got inspired. I was like, you know what? I know a lot of people don't like sitting here watching an hour-long video or somebody yammer on about whatever they want to talk about. But at the same time, if I can bring out some information, a topic, and all that, then I will. But I really didn't have anything planned for tonight. I genuinely didn't. I was sitting there thinking, I was like, I have nothing planned, nothing scheduled. I didn't write anything down. I didn't do any research on anything. I just want to get on here. I've been gone for 3 months, which I didn't realize that it's been 3 months. I want to get on here and say hey to everybody, talk about over the last year, and just send it and see how it goes, man. Let's see. But I have been hitting some good views. I thank y'all very much for all the views, all the likes. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe on this video as well. Give me a follow and comment below any music topic you want me to cover. So yeah, I've been learning, sitting back, trying to figure out how to bring y'all more and better content, which this is all free, so you get what you pay for. But let's see where. Audience. I know I did this last year. I like to do a year in review. So most of all, it's got a little over 12,000 views overall. Audience. It's kind of cool when you click through it and read through all the stuff. Pretty cool. Very cool, man. I really appreciate it. This is actually really cool. Shows 56% people watching on their mobile phone, almost 19% on TV, computers 18.2%, tablets 6.2%. That's pretty cool. Top demographics in the United States. Apparently, I got a follower 0.5% in the United Kingdom, 2% in India. Hey, I didn't know I had a huge following in India. 3.6% in Canada. India. I didn't figure on that. The ladies, I got a lady in our viewing crowd. 83% male. Majority of 65 and older, 32%. 55 to 64 is 24%. 45 to 54 is 19%. 35 to 44, 9. 25 to 34 is 14%. So thank y'all. I know it takes a lot to sit here and watch somebody talk and you just kind of keep your attention on that one video without just flipping through. But thank you. It means a lot, No subtitles. Wow, this is pretty cool. I didn't want to get in that involved age by age. I don't have one viewer in Australia. Man, it's sad. Let's see. This is pretty cool, man. So yeah, what I was going to say again, also, Books by Russo. That's my brother's. My brother writes children's books. So if you have little kids, little children, anything like that, y'all please go check out booksbyrusso.com. He has children's books, and they're pretty good. So yeah, we certainly appreciate that as well. Let's see. So my inspirations growing up was, and I'm just gonna be blunt with y'all. So I didn't know my real father when I was growing up. Him and mama didn't work out. Whatever happened. Here I am, right? Well, mama just got through a divorce, and she meets this man. And majority of my life, he's been my inspiration. He's been my motivation. If I can impress him, I felt like growing up, then I did something. seeking his approval. All of us kids do that, and whether you realize it or not, I believe all of us do that. Whether it's our heavenly Father or our earthly Father. So, and as I get older, I realize that our heavenly Father's opinion and his view on us matters way more than anybody else's opinion of us. So, he after a whirlwind of chaos and things that were going on, I'm not going to get into it too detailed, but things that were going on in my early childhood, here comes this man who's laid back and quiet and country, right? And I've never been hunting. Well, I've been fishing. I was fishing a lot with my uncle and my cousin, and so that was pretty cool. I know how to go fishing. That was no problem. Hunting was a whole different thing. I'd never been hunting before, so he would take us hunting, and he had this Jeep, man, and it was early '80s. This is before Chrysler got their greedy little paws in the Jeep. Got their greedy little hands on AMC, which I believe that happened in '87, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, so he had this Jeep, and he would take me out riding through the woods in this CJ5. As a matter of fact, it was blue. And we were, he would go hunting and we'd go trail riding and mud bogging and just riding. We always just called it riding. We go riding, let's go. Riding through the woods, riding through the mud. Taught me how to build fire. I spent most of my summers as a young man and young teenager cutting firewood through the summer. And through every school break, I had to cut firewood. I'd come home, do my homework, and had to cut firewood before Daddy got home. And we'd stack firewood. We had a fireplace. We actually had it was really cool too. We actually had a wood burning fireplace, a wood burning stove. Wood burning stove. Not a gas fireplace. We didn't have central heating air in the house either. But we had window units and a wood burning stove in the corner of the living room. And that's when I heard the term fat lighter. If you don't know what fat lighter is, if you're not Southern anyway, it's the very, very core center of a pine tree, and it gets dried out, and and it has, I guess, all the sap or whatever. I'm gonna look it up. We will look it up, so I'm not misquoting myself here. We always called it fat lighter. Kindling. Fat wood, also known as fat lighter, lighter wood, rich lighter, pine knot, lighter knot, hard pine, fat stick, or lightered. It's derived from hard wood of pine trees, the stump, the taproot that is left on the ground after they fell the tree. Let's see, flat wood holder. Oh man, they've been using it for a long time. Commercial use of fat wood from stumps stem from the production of pitch and pine tar. In 1648, a company was formed in Sweden. Blah 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 blah. Anyway, if you're not Southern, if you don't really know how to start a fire, so this man taught me how to build a fire when I was a kid, and we used fat lighter. We called it fat lighter. Like I said, the very center core of a pine tree. And you light it and you set up your, of course, when you build a fire, you start small and then you progress it, right? You throw bigger logs on it as it gets bigger. But man, I'm going to tell you now, that wood burning stove would kick off some heat. You could actually cook chili on it. We did it one year when it snowed real bad. It snowed, I think it was 93. I think it was March of '93, snow hit like Central Georgia, and I mean it was boom. It was like a blizzard. And I'm gonna tell you this, and this is why I said this: snow yesterday, because it very rarely snows in Middle Georgia. It's too humid. It's too humid to snow here. For those of you who experience humidity up north and it snows, y'all hadn't experienced humidity like you experience it down south. So this man taught me how to fish correctly, how to hunt, how to build a fire, how to drive, and I wanted to be just like him. That's how I got into Dodges. His daddy had, and just being honest, I didn't call him daddy at first. That kind of grew on me. Because up until that point, I was calling him by his actual name, and something changed in my heart when I was maybe 8 or 9, and I just started calling him Daddy. You know, um, he's still alive. Like I said, he made it through a stroke. He's still alive and kicking. I'm just talking about my inspirations today. It's been reflecting on me over the last week, and I wanted to share this little story. So we were riding around, and that's kind of where I got my country music taste from. Listening to Hank Jr. and Travis Tritt, and it was something funny. Daddy had a best friend, and it always reminded them two together. Always reminded me of Travis Tritt and Marty Stewart. Wild and crazy, and all the stories that I was told about them when they were growing up, oddly enough, kind of reflected mine growing up. Running the streets, being crazy, doing all kind of crazy stuff when we were kids with these trucks and hot rods, and what we thought we were, Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt out there on the road in our trucks and Trans Ams. And that's a shout out to you, Catfish, if you're listening or watching. But let's see. Let's see. So yeah, I mean, we had fun, and I mean, we did the same exact thing that I guess I wanted to be just like him, and I did. That's how I started dipping. It's a nasty habit. I know. I understand it. Um, but let's see. Send out a few messages. Let people know I was going live. I'm gonna start going live, like I said, every Monday, probably about 6 o'clock. Wait for everybody to get off work. But so my biggest, like I said, my biggest inspiration was him and his buddies. I want to be just like them. But watching him gave me that attitude, I guess, growing up where I could do what I wanted to do. I did have a bad attitude. I did have a problem with authority. I didn't want anybody telling me what I could or could not do, man. I just I'll admit it. But but it was like, man, I know what I want out of life, and I'm going to do whatever I want to do. I think I got that, that I think that's why the outlaw spirit and all that, Daddy had that, his buddies had that. They never really followed the rules. They did, Daddy especially. Daddy follow the rules. What are rules? But I mean, unfortunately, me trying to be like him or impress him and all that got me in trouble more often than not. But I was hard headed, and I know, and I look back at life and I'm like, "Ooh, boy, I'm lucky. I'm glad I'm still alive. I'm lucky I didn't get in more fights than I did." Um, but my inspiration for country music and outlaw country music, I think it reflected that watching him when I was growing up, and it said a lot to me about the free spirit and just the standards and rules and guides. And he never, I'll say this, he never sat me down and was like, "Hey son, come here, let me talk to you. You're doing good, you're doing great, I love you, proud of you." None of that other mess. He never really did that. He just had his way of just kind of in a silent nod, saying, he had a kind of a quirky way to him to show you, "Hey, you're doing good," And it took me a long time to come to terms with that, and it still made me proud and still made me who I am. Now, even nowadays, I every once in a while I'll throw my kids a message or something like that. Say, "Man, proud of you, doing a good job. Keep doing what you're doing." You know, just to reassure, just that reassurance. I think that every kid needs that, even if you're grown. Hell, I'm 45 years old, and I still, believe it or not, I still seek his approval. "Hey man, I got this," and "Hey man, I'm trying to do this." Or, you know, isn't that crazy? 45 years old and still trying to seek his approval. There again, well, not really seek his approval, but just more like saying, "Hey, you showed me this. You showed me this way of living life, and this is what I'm doing with it. And I'm doing the best I can." You know, when he was in the hospital, and it was just seeing how frail at the same time and how precious life can be. Because I know one time, I mean, to me, he was bigger than life. When the strongest man goes down, what do you do? Uh, I don't know who's in the chats or if anybody's in the chats at all. Welcome in. I know I had one viewer that keeps coming in and out, but anyway, so the Dodges. I always picked his brain about how to what the best route is, or what he had, why he had Dodges all the time. I think that was influence from Pawpaw. Pawpaw Harrington. He would pass away in '94. He had a big block. It was a '74 Dodge D100. I can't believe it was a 100 really, but it was extended cab, long bed. I think it was different back then. 440, big block. I mean, it was a beast of a truck, but I mean, so but I think the influence that Dodge love was influence from Pawpaw, which obviously went to Daddy. And, Daddy drives a Toyota. Don't know why either. It's weird, but so I guess my love for Chrysler and Mopars came from that. And my very first truck, as a matter of fact, my '76 Power Wagon I bought cash from Daddy. I was too young. Let's see, I was 17 years old. I had a job, worked at Kroger, and I got my income tax return. And I bought a truck. Ended up trading that truck for the Power Wagon. And a couple years later, the engine will let go in the Power Wagon, and then that truck got gone. I think of any of the trucks I've ever had, if I could go back and get that one, or if I can find another '76 long bed Power Wagon, Yeah. I think of all of them, I would love to have that truck back or one like it. One day I will. It's going to happen. Which is the same reason why I have my Ram Charger, Little Martha. My grandparents had a '84 Ram Charger when I was growing up, and ever since, well, let's see, they passed away in '94. I hadn't seen their. I don't know what happened to the Ram Charger. It's gone somewhere. But with my childhood, I don't know if y'all like this. I'm very sentimental when it comes to vehicles. Maybe not everybody is. Maybe you don't get it. I get it. I associate a lot of people with the vehicle that they drive. Um, I could probably tell you there's a bunch of people that I grew up in the neighborhood I grew up in, and even riding back and forth in town. That I don't know these folks' names. I just know their car. You know, there's blue Dodge Ram dude, and there's red Trans Am guy, and there's a black Camaro guy somewhere. You know, so I don't know who they were or anything like that. Just by their vehicles, and we'd wave all the time. Hey, there goes that guy. There goes that guy. And there's a guy who is big in the Middle Georgia car scene for years. Name and I would know him by his car. I saw his car way years before I started driving, and he had an old SS Chevelle. He was a firefighter in Macon, and every morning at the school bus, you'd hear it coming down from down the hill, and he'd come flying by. But that's how I knew. I have this fascination with cars. Like I said earlier, it's just a mystical bond between man and machine. But I know people by what they drive. And if I meet you one time or twice, and I see what kind of vehicle you drive, it doesn't matter if it's been a couple months, and I see your vehicle in the Kroger parking lot. I'm like, hey, that guy's here. I know that vehicle because that's what he drives. It's just the way I am, I guess. But the inspiration for Dodges, I think Daddy said he had at one time. I think he said he had a 340 CUDA, Barracuda, not a CUDA. I think he said he had a 340 CUDA. And it was black on black from where I was told. And then the stories I hear, man, I mean, they did wild things when it comes to automotive. He shortened the frame on a Ford pickup, I believe. Was it a Ford pickup? They shortened the frame on it where you can stand on, get in it, stepping on tires, like crawling, 1 foot here, 1 foot there, crawling up into the truck. And that was another story I was told. And the day he sold his CJ5, I was across the street at my buddy's house, and I cried because I have an emotional attachment to vehicles. No, I can't explain it. Just like that's how I ended up with this Ram Charger. Y'all know him from episodes before. My good buddy, and shot a couple of them, especially when me and brother Derek went to go pick up my Ram Charger. As soon as Dan Atkinson got the Ram Charger, he shot me a message, told me to look at Facebook, because he shot me a couple messages, pictures, and he knows I had a fascination with finding a Ram Charger like my grandparents had, me, mom, papa had, because I had some really good memories in that Ram Charger, going out to the lake and going camping when I was growing up. So I kind of wanted to recreate that for my grandkids, or honestly for myself. But this time I made it a little bit, I've got an '84 Ram Charger that I'm putting a built 5.7 Hemi in, and hopefully not this year, because I don't know where I'm gonna live yet. But not this year, but next year. Hopefully, drive at the Mo Party up in Bowling Green, Kentucky. So, year in review, I did not do a whole lot what I wanted to do. Since we've got about 20 minutes left here, I didn't go to Mo Party. I've changed jobs a few times. So, well, I say once. Changed jobs. Was working at Home City Ice. Now I'm working for Penske Logistics. We are. That is a big company. I didn't realize how big Penske was, and learning how their system works and the ins and outs and everything like that. So it's learning a new company, um, trying to make the best of everything, obviously. But this year, I'm gonna make it to Mo Party. Let's see, what was I gonna do? I was gonna show y'all something. Well, this year I'm gonna make it to Mo Party. That's my plan. I'm gonna go ahead and buy tickets as soon as possible. Hopefully, we sell this house, and I can buy something with. I got to find a house with a garage in a good, decent price range, and then we'll go from there. But and it's got to have at least 3 bedrooms. So I'll have a guest room, podcasting room, and in my bedroom. But hopefully, hopefully we'll sell the house. We had an open house today. Next Saturday we'll have another one. And we will see how it goes. Hopefully the economy is going to stay good, or it's getting better from what I understand. I don't know. I don't know how all this stuff works, man. I go to work, I come home, I play video games. I go to work, I come home, I play video games. I get on the next day, do it all over again. I'm starting to kind of step away a little bit from the politics and things like that. I'm trying to focus more on my physical health. Matter of fact, starting tomorrow morning. Matter of fact, after Daddy's stroke, it kind of makes you stop and think. When somebody has a health issue like that, it kind of makes you stop and think about what's going on. And get up starting tomorrow morning. I'm going to get up and start working out. And I got to lose weight. Not to say I'm tremendously overweight, but I feel like I am. So, you're going to kick off and oh. I'm gonna start working out first thing tomorrow morning. I'm gonna get back into routine of working out, get back on my diet. But I haven't been able to move forward with any of my vehicles because I don't want to be in the middle of working on something and somebody want to come look at the house and I got parts and grease and dirt and all that all under the carport. So I put all my parts back together. So going back to the Ram Charger, Dan Atkinson called me. He's checking messages. There's a Ram Charger. He knew I had a fascination with Ram Chargers. And I really wanted one to recreate that, like I said. My Ram Charger. I got the 2012. I got a 5.7 Hemi out of a 2012 Ram that I bought from a buddy of mine, local. I got to find a transmission for it, shifter, the floor console. From what I could tell, the best one to use in this case is like one out of a Commander. And so I got to rebuild the Hemi, find a transmission, the console. I still have Daddy's 94. I got the matter of fact, the very first truck I bought from Daddy and this truck that I have, the General, I got it from him too. And y'all seen it. I've posted videos on it before. I've still got a little bit to go with it, and I'll finish it up. Got a new dash. I still got to find the lower piece and put the door panels back on, redo some of the wiring, but I'm not pulling that 360 back up out of there. It's a great, strong running engine. So unless something happens, but I've always stuck with Dodge, and I think that's because he inspired me. That was my inspiration. I wish I had some water. I don't. Oh, well. Ooh, sorry. But yeah, so we're gonna go live every Monday, 6 o'clock, right here. Next week I will have a topic. I will be better prepared. I just missed doing this, and I know it's been 3 months. Like I said, I didn't realize it'd taken that long. I've been kicking out short videos to put something out here. But nothing's really been going on over the last year other than me changing jobs and still trying to sell this house. I've got some pretty good feedback, but nobody's biting. So if you know anybody, so I want y'all to leave a comment below what y'all want. You want more automotive content as well, or more music content? But we may just flip flop and still kind of do what I originally liked to do, was automotive content, and then throw a true crime video, true crime content in there at the tail end of the month. That's my plan going forward. So I'm gonna mix in like a week from today, probably gonna be automotive content, and then we'll do music, and then at the last, let me look at the calendar. Let me, my phone on lock. The last end of the end of the month, we'll probably do a true crime episode. Let's see how many more days we got. So we got one more Monday, and then we start over in February. Right? Yeah. All right. So we'll do a true crime episode next week. It's gonna be music oriented. So we're gonna go back with the old Goldie. One episode on music, another episode on automotive, which I got a really good one coming up for that. I looked into it, and it's going to be about my, so we're kind of starting the year fresh and new. Thank y'all very much for all the likes and even the comments. Not a lot of people doing comments these days, man. Not a lot of people doing likes, but thank y'all. Let's see. So, all in all, I really appreciate y'all. We're going to kick off another one next week. Be here at 6 live on YouTube. I've been kicking out some content on TikTok, but yeah, we're live right here on YouTube. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe on this video. Comment below what content you want me to cover with musical artists or whatever. I'll look into it. I'll tell you what I stay away from. I don't do pop music or rap or new country. So, y'all, tell me what you think. I'm about to get out of here. I got some things I got to do. I wanted to post a short little video tonight. We're going to be back next week right here. I'm still going to try to figure out how to make decals. Get y'all some merch, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I had to wait till after I sell the house and move and get everything resettled. But I will still kick out more live content throughout the week, some short videos. But up until next week, we will see y'all right here Monday at 6, unless someone comes to look at the house. then we'll reschedule. We'll kind of move things around. But we'll get in an earlier day. I was going to start off another YouTube channel called Savage Technicians and just talk about our history and just being a mechanic in that life. Do are you like me, where you live and breathe being a mechanic? I mean, I when I'm not on here, I watch YouTube videos. I do research on vehicles. I do research on how to build my truck, how to make it better, all that. So I'm all, yeah. I live in, like I said before, there's folks that watch sports and they live and breathe football. They live and breathe the other kind of football, which we call soccer, or they live and breathe baseball, or especially pro stuff. When I'm not on here, y'all don't see me. I'm constantly thinking about what's the best way to build something. How do I make it where it's safe and it's fast? How am I going to make it where it's um, efficient? Where what seats can I use? A console. What kind of paint am I going to use? Where am I going to things like that. So it's constantly going on in my brain all the time when it comes to my trucks. It'd be kind of cool to get this kind of truck or get this. I saw a Viper V10 being dropped in a Dodge D100. I never even thought about that. What about a Viper motor in a pickup truck? That'd be. Chrysler did it in the early 2000s with the Viper, the SRT 10 truck. Yeah, but somebody sitting in the garage doing it. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I was going to start the YouTube channel, The Savage Technicians, and just talk about cars and living that life and who we worked for. What kind of jackass did we go turning wrenches for, and our experience as far as that goes. And I'm kind of waiting on Jay because I think he has a login and all the information to start that channel. I'm waiting on him. So I might have to reach out to him and see what he says. If he still wants to do that. I think it'd be kind of fun. Bring all my gearhead buddies on here, one at a time, and just talk about stuff that we built. Go down the list and just one episode at a time and just talk about our experiences, what we do now, how we figured out. We had a tough situation. We had to figure something out, and we figured it out. I know me and my buddy DJ, which he runs an automotive shop up in Macon. I know that we can go on for a couple hours and talk about the stuff that we did. So that may be coming soon. Just part of the Forever Road Podcast Network, Savage Technicians. I'm going to work on that as well. Because I got a lot of mechanic buddies, and I'm sure they'd like to voice and vent their opinions and their. I think that's what I'm going to do. So, anyway, we'll cover some history, automotive history, over on that channel. But this right here is going to be. That's what it was. I was trying to work that out earlier, and been trying to work it out. This is going to be predominantly music history, just like it has been. But the Savage Technician is going to be the other side, which are just regular blue collar, me and my buddies and everybody else who's turned wrenches for a living, who's had bad experiences, good experiences, everything in between, how we figure problems out, solutions, and things like that. Just us, real working mechanics. So I'm going to get on to him about that, and we're going to kick that off pretty soon. But be here next week. Right here on Forever Road Podcast, we're going to cover. Y'all have to see. I got somebody that I'm talking to, trying to convince her in joining in on it. It's going to be a true crime episode because that is how the schedule works. So the last tail end of the month is going to be a true crime episode. There are some music video movies out there that I may cover because it is the music. We are music here. So, anyway, I love y'all. I hope y'all have a fantastic week. If you got snow yesterday, like I did, happy birthday, I guess. I don't know what else to say. So I'm going to leave it with this right here. No, I'm going to post here in a little bit about the song of the day. So we're going to continue on song of the day right here, Forever Road Podcast. I'll see y'all next week. For those who come in and watch it, thank y'all. Didn't have a whole lot of I don't think I had anybody in the chats at all, but anyway, I hope y'all have a great night. I hope y'all have a great week. I will see y'all right here. Don't forget, Monday, 6 o'clock. Forever Road Podcast with me, just me. Anyway, I love y'all. Peace.
Thanks for riding with us on the FRP, the Forever Road Podcast, with Bosco. You can find and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, or drop us a line or question anytime at foreverroadpodcast@gmail.com. See you next time right here on the Forever Road Podcast.